All right, all right, all right, all right. What's going on, everybody? What's going on, everybody? Thank you guys for joining in to my Tuesday Q&As right here on YouTube Live. All right, as you guys know, I'm doing this every Tuesday moving forward at noon. All right, I'm basically wanting to answer any music industry questions you guys may have or may want answered live right here on YouTube. All right, so if you have any questions that you want to answer live right here on YouTube, all you got to do is type the question right in the chat box here. And in the chat box, I'm just going to read them off and answer those questions. All right, this is all for me to help you guys with your music industry tips. Of course, let me get some of the particulars out the way. My name is, of course, WesTheTech. All right, I'm a rapper slash music producer slash recording studio owner slash music business coach, and I decided to start doing these Tuesday Q&As so that I'm able to answer more questions live as they come. All right, as you guys know, I have my typical tech tips that I answer that I release every Thursday, right? But typically with my tech tips, I usually get a lot of comments on them about a lot of other questions that people may have. And sometimes, I'll be honest with you guys, sometimes it's overwhelming because I got a lot of videos and a lot of questions are answered through them. So I figured there's got to be another way that I could really get those questions answered for you. And that's where this came about. That's where my Tuesday Q&As came about. So if you guys have any questions whatsoever, just join into my YouTube live right now and type in the chat your questions. LD40, what's going on? What's going on? Thanks for joining in on IG Live. For those of you on IG Live who want any music industry questions answered, tap into my YouTube Live right now. Put the questions in my YouTube Live and I'll be able to answer them for you right on the spot with the Tuesday Q&As. All right, so as those questions start piling up here, I'm just gonna go over a couple more things here. Of course, you know, I have my membership program for any of you guys who may be interested in joining my membership program on YouTube. All right, with that membership program, it comes with a lot of different perks, including priority responses to comments. It also includes exclusive walkthrough videos, and it has free one-on-one music business coaching sessions that you could partake with me one-on-one once a month. All right, it's really great service, a lot of great perks that are added and a part of it. All you got to do is become a member. In order to become a member, all you got to do is hit the join button in one of my YouTube videos. I'm actually going to show you guys how to do that right now. So let's switch screens here. Go to my channel. You should see mine. It says C perk because I'm obviously a member of my own membership club, but for you guys it'll probably say join right here. You click that join button and then it'll show you all the different perks that is associated with being a member of my membership club right here on YouTube. All right, so of course, without further ado, I'm gonna start the Q&As. Actually, one last thing before I start the Q&As. If you guys or if there's anyone watching right now who wants to start your own music business and you don't exactly know where to start, I have my free music business checklist that's available on my website right now. All right, that free tool can be downloaded. It'll give you 3 helpful tips that you can do right away to start your own music business. But if you wanted a more detailed plan or a more detailed breakdown of all the steps that I took in order to put myself in a position to do music full time, then I strongly recommend you guys to get my ebook here, the 13 steps to jumpstart your music business. All right, this is a physical copy. I do have physical copies as well. The physical copies are more expensive than the ebooks. The ebooks you'll be able to download and get it right through your email right away. All right, with this ebook, like I said, it details all the steps that I took to put myself in a position to leave my 9-to-5 job so that I could do music full time. I've been doing music full time for years now, so I want the same thing for you guys. And also the best question that is asked on my live today on the live chat through YouTube will get a free copy of this ebook sent over to you as soon as the live is over with. All right. So if you got questions, go ahead and answer or put them in the chat on my YouTube, and best question gets a free ebook. All right. So first, I'm going to pull up some questions that I found in the comment section. All right, I'm going to pull up some really, really great questions that I saw. And the great thing about this is that we're a community, right? We're all trying to learn together. We're all trying to figure out this music industry stuff together. All right, we're all here to share information with each other. All right, so a lot of questions that I get asked, I just find the answers through other people. I know some very important people, so to speak, that can answer certain questions that I may not have. So if I don't have the question, I'm not just gonna give you any answer. I'll make sure to go find that answer for you, which is what I did with a lot of the questions that I'm gonna pull up here when it comes to some of the questions that I've seen on the comment sections of my videos. All right, so without further ado, let me go ahead and pull up some of those questions here. Of course, this is my channel. These are the questions right here. So I'm gonna start off with the first one here. So the first one was asked a couple of weeks ago, and the question is, I uploaded my official music on it was asked by Kieran, all right, UX2E7, and it was a couple of weeks ago, but the question was, I uploaded my official music on my YouTube channel, and after that I uploaded the same song on my DistroKid platform too. Now I got copyright on my video, which I uploaded on YouTube. How can I connect my YouTube channel with DistroKid? Can you please help me? All right, this is something that will always happen if you decide to obviously upload, let's say, a music video or your song to your YouTube. And there actually is a way to connect your DistroKid to your YouTube. So there's a couple of things that I have to answer with this. So I guess the first thing I'll let you guys know is how to actually connect your DistroKid to your YouTube. All right, now I actually do have a video on that already. So let me actually go to my YouTube channel here, and it should be one of the DistroKids. See, I have a whole playlist on my channel right here that's dedicated to just DistroKid tutorials. The reason I did that is because DistroKid has been my main distributor for a while now, a long time now, and I've learned so much through it, but some of it is not right in front of you. So I made a bunch of tutorial videos just for DistroKid alone. I am considering switching to another distributor, so whatever distributor I switch to, I'm then gonna start doing tutorials for that. But for currently speaking, I have a bunch of tutorials for DistroKid, and I believe I did a video on how to link your DistroKid to your YouTube. Let me see, it should be on this list here. Official artist is this one right here, how to get an official artist channel on YouTube with DistroKid. So essentially what you have to do is, in order to link your DistroKid to your YouTube, you actually have to do it through your DistroKid page. All right, so I detail it out fully in this video here. All right, I'll quickly go over it here very, very quickly, but since this is the question that was asked, all right, you want to go to your DistroKid right here. All right, then you want to click on, the menu where you get all your different menu options here, as you can see here. Then you want to go to special access, I believe, and under special access is right here, YouTube official artist channel. Once you click on this, it's then going to bring you this page where you could actually search for your, you first pick the artist that you are. So you have to already distribute music with your DistroKid in order to do this. All right, so for Quran, since you already released your music, you should see your artist name here. Once you see your artist name, it's going to give you some options to either find your YouTube channel or type in the link to your YouTube channel. Mine is already linked, so that's why it says what it says right here. Connect is already connected. It's already connected to your YouTube channel right on. So I already did it, but essentially once it's done, your channel becomes an official artist channel. The way you know that it's an official artist channel is if it has this little music note icon right here. All right, with this little music note icon, that you know it's official artist channel. As you can see, the little banner literally says official artist channel. So that's how you know it has become an official artist channel. All right, now the cool thing about when your channel becomes an official artist channel, you actually don't have to upload your songs manually anymore. All right. So obviously you wouldn't know this because you uploaded the song on your YouTube before you actually streamed it on DistroKid. So it's not your fault. You didn't know. But moving forward, anytime you release a song on DistroKid, it's going to show up on your YouTube channel if you already linked them together. All right. And the way it'll show up, it'll create a new tab called Releases. And under that Release tab, all your songs will be on there. And like I said, I did not upload these songs myself. These songs were automatically uploaded with DistroKid. All right. So that's how you do it in order linking them together and getting every release to show up on your YouTube. Now, since you already actually uploaded the song on your YouTube channel and you now have that copyright error message, you're gonna have to actually fix that another way. So if you want to re-release it on your channel after you relink it, that's one thing. But if you want to keep that same video, then what you're gonna have to do is remove the copyright. Now I also have a video for that as well. Just search copyright under my channel and it should come up here. And actually, instead of doing that, I'm gonna actually send you guys the link. Remove YouTube copyright claim from music videos. So you probably did it for your song, but it's the same thing here. What I'll do is I'll share this link onto the chat. So anyone who's watching this video later, if you want to know how to do that too, there's the link right there on how to actually remove the copyright claim from any songs that you upload. But again, moving forward, you don't actually have to do that when you have DistroKid. You can link them together, and I'll actually share the link to that particular video as well. So you have that moving forward. Again, that's on the DistroKid tutorials, and that's right here, how to get an official artist channel. Let me grab that link and also put this link in the chat as well. This link is for those of you who want to link your DistroKid to your YouTube. Again, you won't have to manually do your releases anymore if that's linked together. All right. So let me go back to the question. Make sure I answered every part of the question. Upload, yep. How can I connect? Yep. So that's the answer right there, Karan. So I hope that answers all your questions. And of course, this is, like I said, why I do everything that I do here. I do everything that I do here to really help you guys out. All right, now I got some people who joined in here, and I believe I have my first question here for Uwabajaja. I really hope I said that right. All right, music. I am a Uganda artist who moved to the US this year. Well, welcome to WesTheTech Productions. Welcome to my channel, and welcome to the US. I hope you're really liking it. Uganda, that's absolutely awesome. You know, I have so many questions, but all right, let me keep reading this here. Wilmington, to be specific. Okay, Wilmington is very nice. Okay. Well, welcome. I hope that I can answer your question. How would you advise me on reaching out to the radios here and also pushing my music even when I'm here? Thank you. All right, so this is a very great question, but this is also a layered question. All right, this question, it's essentially you're asking me how to promote your music, how to promote your music in radio, how to promote your music in different places. This is a loaded question because there's a lot that's involved with actually getting your music on these different things, right? I also noticed that Pretty Girl Progression has just joined into the chat. Welcome. Thank you for tuning in. Again, if you guys have any music industry questions, just chat it in and I'll answer it. LD40 Productions LLC, what's going on? Thanks for joining in. Just like last week, bro. Good to see you guys again. Good to see both you and Pretty Girl Progression again. If you have any questions, you know what to do, all right? So to answer your question, all right, so when it comes to radio, right, Uwab, I'm just going to call you Uwab. You know, I don't know if that's your nickname. If you have a better nickname, just type it in the chats there. But I'm going to call you Uwab Music for now. Again, I deeply apologize if I'm not saying your name correctly. But when you're talking about radio, you have to identify if you're talking about mainstream radio or if you're talking about internet radio. I need to know which type of radio you're talking about specifically, because there are different ways to handle both of them, right? Internet radio is obviously, you know, people who have their own online radio stations or Sirius XM radio. Pandora Radio, or are you talking about like radio, like 99 Jams, for instance, or Hot 105, or those type of radio stations? Because those are two completely different things, even though they're all considered under radio, so to speak. So when you get a chance, just type in there on what radio, as far as which type of radio are you actually trying to market to, so I could be more specific to your question. All right, as you do that, I'm actually going to answer another question here. So let's take a look at the next question. The next question is, here we go. So this question is from Brian Wheatley Music 1798, and it was a couple of days ago here. The question is, hey Wes, I am an independent Christian folk spoken word artist. That's very, very interesting. All right, that's dope. I am starting my own label. How do we plan for digital with regards to Spotify? Okay. I believe he's basically trying to ask how to get my music on Spotify. Is it okay to involve a promoter? Also, how is radio collected? All right, this is another radio question. And lastly, how often does Sound Exchange pay? All right, so that's a loaded question, right? That's a lot of questions in one, and I get it. And look, there's the picture. I hope that's the picture of them. But look, don't they look like a happy couple? Look at them. They look like a happy couple. And I love this. Christian folk spoken word artist. That's dope. Okay, so I'm going to try to answer each question as quickly as I can. All right, so the first one, how do we plan for digital with regards to Spotify? That's the simple answer, Brian. That's just simply through a music distribution company. Whatever music distribution company you decide to go with, they'll actually be able to distribute your music to all the streaming platforms, which includes Spotify, Apple Music, Deezer, Amazon Music, and all of those different places that people naturally stream music. All right, that's what music distributors do. So they'll be the ones to actually be able to do that for you. All right, now, of course, there's always a fee to that because they're going to be the ones putting your music on those platforms. But that answers that part of that question. Now, as far as how do we plan, as far as is it okay to involve a promoter? Yes, and always. If you can afford a promoter or a marketing team or anybody to actually help you promote your music, it's always advisable, because we are in an era that if you're not promoting heavily, especially if you're an independent artist, you just won't be seen. It's just the reality of the market. It's such a flooded market. There's like 10,000s of artists born every day, right? Releasing music every day. There's so many artists. So the only way that you can really cut through all of that and actually show yourself more is by promoting. So yes, absolutely. If you could create a budget for marketing, I strongly advise doing so. Absolutely. And also, how is radio collected? All right, so before I answer that part, I'm gonna see if Uwab did answer. Not the internet radios, like the real radios from way back. All right, so when it comes to real radio stations nowadays, and actually it was like this back then, but nowadays it's a little different, right? So when it comes to radio stations, all the big radio stations, they typically only play music that is already known, right? Big artist music. You know, if you turn on the radio right now, you're probably gonna hear some Drake. You're probably gonna hear some SZA. You're probably gonna hear some Taylor Swift. You're probably gonna hear Beyonce. You're gonna hear all the notable artists, right? Because radio stations tend to like to play music that everybody already knows. Why do they do that? Because they want people to tune into their radio stations. Now, some radio stations do offer, moments, at certain times of the week and things like that, in order to actually play new music. The way you would actually have to go about that is by submitting your music to that radio station. All right, now back in the day you would have to call in and things like that, but nowadays all you actually have to do is actually Google their actual website. All right, most radio stations on their website, they have a place that you could submit your music. Now, of course, if there's a place for you to submit your music, that also means there's a place for everybody to submit their music. So a lot of people are submitting their music. So I don't know how often that each radio station actually looks into it, and so on and so forth. But the easiest way to get your music on there is by actually submitting your music to their site. Now, of course, if you know somebody personally there, that's always the best method, me personally, I try to get in contact with whoever I can from that station that I know is going to cater to me. For example, I'm a Christian hip hop artist. As a Christian hip hop artist, I know that there are a lot of different Christian radio stations out there, but those Christian radio stations have particular segments, right? And for me in particular, I always look at, okay, which DJ is doing the Christian hip hop segment, right? That's only on maybe Saturday mornings, or that's only on after school or school afternoons between 5 and 7, right? And there's a particular DJ that runs that, right? I would try to get in contact with that DJ, build a relationship with him, and then offer my music to him to see if he would listen to it. My first placement in radio was actually in that way. It was all honestly by the grace of God, because me and him ended up in line to a Lecrae concert, as a matter of fact, a Reach Records concert. You know, he had a radio. He was a DJ for a radio station up north in northern Florida. And, you know, we began talking, and he told me, send me the music. If he likes it, he'll put it on. And that's how I got my first song on the radio. And back then, that was No Games. You know, it was a dope song. It still is a dope song, by the way. But that's how I got my first radio placement, right? So building that one-on-one connection is the absolute best way to get your music on there, right? Find out that person. We have social media now. With social media, it's so much easier to find people and try to get in contact with them. That doesn't mean that they're going to answer back to your DMs or your phone calls or your emails and things like that, but it's much, much easier to do it now than before. You don't have to go through any gatekeepers or anything. So that would be the easiest way to get your music on there, all right? Now, to answer the question from Brian, which is kind of a correlation to that, is how is radio collected? Radio is collected through your performing rights organization, as far as the real radio that you were talking about, UWAP. All right, so that's all those real stations is going to be through the Performing Rights Organization. Now, if you don't know what a Performing Rights Organization is, that's organizations like BMI, ASCAP, and all of those different things, right? So for the U.S., we have BMI, ASCAP, and CSAC, but every country has their own Performing Rights Organization. Brian here, when he asked this question, he didn't really say what country he's from, but if he's from the U.S., it would be one of those performing rights organizations that I mentioned. If he lives in a different country, he would have to look into that. But you want to sign up to a performing rights organization, because that's how you're going to collect the real radio. Now, as far as non-interactive radio like Pandora and things like that, you actually would have to sign up for Sound Exchange, because Sound Exchange actually collects royalties for non-interactive radio. That's Sirius XM, that's iHeartRadio, that's Pandora. All of those things, those are non-interactive radios. In order to collect your royalties from that, you got to sign up for Sound Exchange. And I have all of that going back to my channel here. I have videos on all of that stuff. I have videos on PROs, performing rights organizations. All right, if you want to know more about that, if you want to know about Sound Exchange, I have videos on Sound Exchange. So make sure you guys, any questions that you have, before commenting, try searching my channel for it. Just come up here, go to the search bar, and actually search whatever you have a question about. See, Sound Exchange. If you just type, look, do I need Sound Exchange? How to get all my royalties? Radio is one of those things. Sound Exchange was one of the things that I discussed in this video. And this video lays out everything you need to know about royalties and how you get your royalties from anywhere and everywhere. All right. So, Brian, if you want to know how to get your royalties, and not only radio but everything else, definitely watch this video. And as a matter of fact, if there's anyone who's watching right now who wants to know how to get your royalties, I'm actually going to put this link up as well, so you guys have that. Boom, that's the link right there. All right, so perfect. All right, so before I get to my next question on this list, let me try to answer one of the questions that's on the chat. All right, so it's UWAB again. I also have my music on all streaming platforms under DistroKid, but the streaming have been low, and I struggle with promoting because I don't know the right places and platforms to push. All right, this is one of the biggest questions that I get, as far as where's the right place to promote. And honestly, I think there's 3 top places to promote. There's YouTube, there's TikTok, and there's Instagram as far as the artist goes. All right. Facebook is okay. Facebook can be good, but the three that I mentioned are the top ones for artists, because a lot of people find new artists through those three things: through YouTube, through TikTok, and through Instagram. All right. So you need to definitely focus on getting into those platforms, getting your music heard. You know, you make reels, essentially. You want to make reels, and in those reels, you know, you want to play your music. And that would probably be the best way to promote right now, because everybody's all about short form content. Most of my streams came from just making short reel videos, short 15-second or 30-second TikTok videos, or Instagram reel videos, YouTube shorts that have my music playing in the background. And when people watch it, they hear the music, they like the music, they actually go ahead and go stream the music on streaming platforms. So that's social media is the number one way to promote your music right now. So definitely look into that. Social media is the way to go. All right. Now I'm gonna go ahead and see. Let's see what another question. Next question is by Uwab again. What would you what would be considered a normal amount of a basic promotional budget? Ooh, it depends what platform you're using. It's as simple as that. IG has its own prices. TikTok has its own prices. YouTube has its own prices. All right. But I'm going to tell you this, and I tell this to everybody who always asks about promoting. You have to know how to fine tune your promoting, right? So let's say you make Christian music, right? And you go to do a IG promotion or a TikTok promotion, and you just put, and the tags that you put or the focus that you put is just Christian music. You're not gonna get as good as results, rather than if you were to get more specific. You always want to get as specific as possible from your demographic, meaning your age group. Okay, what age group likes my music the most, right? You also want to get, obviously what race likes my music the most. You want to get what genre is my music specifically, right? The more fine-tuned you could get, the more or the better the promoting will work, right? You don't just want to throw the money out there and just hope that it works for you. No, get specific, get into your analytics, get into your numbers. But you won't really know your numbers truly until you really start putting your music out there and really seeing, okay, what age group works with it or listens to it the most. So you got to kind of do some trial and error, right? I know for myself, I do Christian hip hop. So my focus is Christian hip hop. Or I'll go even more specific, gritty Christian hip hop, or upbeat Christian hip hop, or gym workout Christian hip hop, because a lot of my music is motivational and very, very upbeat, right? I get as specific as possible. I know my age group is gonna be early 20 to late 30s, right? That's my age group. That's the range of my age group. I know that my music particularly caters more to men because it's more motivation, it's more upbeat, it's more aggressive, so to speak. These are the kind of questions you got to ask yourself. What is my music really connecting more to? And by that, you'll be able to actually fine-tune your marketing so that you know exactly where to market your music to get the best results, all right? So I hope that answered your question. If all of those questions were answered right, all right, just go ahead and put thanks or a thumbs up or something in the chat. Uwab, I'm glad I could help you, all right? Now, before I get to the questions of the weeks, I have LD40 here. Welcome back again. He got another email, and the emails or the message, he says, I get emails from stations saying they'll put my music on college stations for a small fee. Sounds like a scam. Okay. So this is big. This is big. I'm so glad that you asked that question or that you said that, because a lot of people don't know about this. By law, radio stations cannot ask a fee for taking on your music, for listening to your music and playing it. If you actually go to those websites where you actually submit music to, there's no fee for it. You actually just go to the website, you hit submit, you upload your music and your personal information, and you send it off to them. There's supposed to be no fee allocated to them putting your music on them, all right? So it's not necessarily a scam, but they're not doing business the right way, right? So this goes for Spotify as well. It is actually illegal for a curator to charge you for putting your music on their playlist. They supposed to be doing that for free. Same thing for radio stations. Even the real radio stations is the same as internet and all of those things. There shouldn't be any charge tied to it. So it's not that it's a scam, because I do know so many different places that will charge you a small fee for submitting your music and getting your music on there, right? It doesn't mean it is a scam, but for me, because they're not supposed to do that, I don't pay it. I tell them straight up, I know my rights. I know that I understand you guys have a fee. That's cool, but I'm not going to partake in that, because I know there's not supposed to be any fees associated with trying to get my music on the radio. That is a fact. I'm not telling you this because I heard it from some other person. These are radio stations that I've heard this from. I've been in meetings with people who are part of radio stations, who are the curators and managers of radio stations, and this is what I heard from their own mouth. And I was actually shocked when I heard it too, because I used to think about doing that. I never have done it. I used to think about it though, like, man, maybe I should pay this. But the only thing that always stopped me was I never wanted to pay for something if I didn't know what the results were going to be. I'm all about the numbers. So if you can't tell me this amount of money can equate to this number of plays or rotations, and you can't tell me how many people are actually listening to your station, if you can't give me those numbers, you're never going to get into my pockets. I need to know the numbers. I need to know what the results will be. That way I know that once I pay for it, if I don't get the results, you're not getting anything from me again, right? I need to know exactly what I'm getting, what return I'm getting with my investment. And that's the way you got to do everything when it comes to being an independent artist, when it comes to being a music business owner, when it comes to being any business owner, honestly. You want to know how much are you getting in return for your investment, right? That's the name of the game. You need to know that. If you don't know that, you'll throw a lot of money away before people actually start listening to your music. So I hope that answered that question for you. LD40, again, it may not be a scam, but who knows, it could be as well. You know, either way, they're not allowed to actually charge you for that. All right. So I hope that answered your question. If it did answer your question, just go ahead and put thanks to something in the chat so that I know that you got that answer to that question. All right. So let's go back to the chart here and see what else we got as far as the next question. Next question is from, let me close this one. Next question is from Cursor TV. All right. Cursor TV asks, but made a statement. I remember this, and there's a reason I put this. I wish I would have known all this stuff at 21. I'm 40 and too old to be rapping. All right. So when I saw this, even though it's not even a question, I immediately had to save this one, because this one hits home for me, because I'm not a spring chicken anymore neither. I'm not 21 years old. I'm well in my 30s. I'm actually 37 to be exact, right? But I feel like people always wants to put an age on rapping, right? And I always find that interesting, because I look at it this way, right? Everything about rap is marketed differently, and I don't know why. And what I mean by that is rapping is the equivalent of singing, right? So you have a singer and you have a rapper, right? When you think about genres, there's no genre that's called singing. Why? Because singing is what you're doing. You have pop, you have R&B, you have all of these things. You don't have a genre called singing, right? So because singing is the act, the genres are the styles, right? Rap is a genre, but rap is actually what you're physically doing. You're rapping. So rapping is just it's the action. Just like singing, there's no age requirement for singing. I feel like there shouldn't be any age requirement for rapping. I understand where it comes from, right? Because when you think of the 90s and you think about early on and things like that, most record labels weren't willing to invest in you unless you were young, right? If they had two rappers who were equally skilled and one was 10 years older than the other, they're always going to go for the younger one, because in the record label's mind, record label or being a rapper is for a limited time only. Once you reach a certain age, you can't rap anymore. I strongly disagree with that. And I'm going to show you proof on how that is not always the case. For example, I don't know if you guys know this, but Killer Mike just won a Grammy. He just won the Grammy a couple of days ago, not too long ago. Do you know what Killer Mike's current age is? 48 years old. You see that? 48 years old. Killer Mike has just won his first Grammy at 48 years old. You said that you're 40 now, as if it's too old to be rapping, but yet Killer Mike is 2 years away from 50 and he's still rapping. And if he thought the same thing, he probably would have stopped a long time ago. Killer Mike has been doing music for years, and he finally captured a Grammy. Now, I'm not saying everybody's going to capture a Grammy, but what I am saying is that there really shouldn't be an age limit to rapping. I'm going to show you another example here. I always forget their names, but this is the way I usually find them. Two old guys rapping. I know that's messed up, but these dudes are beasts, by the way. There they go, right? Two grandpas. So Frank and Murray, right? These two dudes are incredible. They're British rappers, first of all, right? And they have made quite a name for themselves, right? Now, of course, they're not as big as Drake and stuff like that. They may not be worldwide renowned and things like that, but they're doing very well for themselves at the age that they are rapping, all right? So just to show you, because sometimes you just need to see it to believe it, right? So just take a look at some of their stuff, right? I mean, these dudes are like, they're dope. But look at this. This has 80K views. You know what I mean? Their TikTok, they have tons of followers, like tons of. They're really, really dope. They're really, really dope. I'm obviously not gonna play their music on here because then I'll have copyright issues and things like that. But their age is really what I wanted to focus on. Let me see if I can find their age here. I know they're both above 70, but I don't remember their age. But honestly, it doesn't matter. These dudes is just another example of people who are right here. All right, duo. One is 91 years old, Murray, 91 years old, and the other one is 75 years old, Frank. 95 and 75. That is so far away from 40. 95 is double 40 and 75 is almost double 40, right? There is no age to rapping. There's no end date to rapping. Now, if you feel that you at a certain age you don't want to rap no more, that's one thing. But don't stop rapping or don't not start rapping because you think that you're too old for it. I don't believe rapping should have an age requirement, just like I don't believe singing does, all right? Now, let me just double check the chats here. Okay, thank you for answering. You're very, very welcome. Very, very welcome. LD40, let me know if I answer your question. Let me know if I answer your question there. So yeah, that one, I had to just bring that one up because, that strikes a little home for me. You get what I'm saying? Even though, I'm still very, very young myself. I'm 37 years old. Rick Ross didn't get his big break until he was 34. You know what I mean? There's plenty of artists, rappers specifically, that didn't get their big break until early 30s and things like that as well. So we try not to put an age requirement on rapping. Don't let that be the reason that you decide not to make music because of your age, because that's just doubt and the enemy trying to stop you from being successful. All right, so let's go back to that here. I hope this inspires you. I hope that turns this frown upside down and makes you happy moving forward. Go get after it, brother. Get after it. All right, so the next question here is from, let's see, who is this from? Okay, first and foremost, let's see if we can get it to pull out. There we go. Okay, so it's from Young D Fly, I'm assuming. All right, Young D Fly, I'm assuming this is a couple of days ago. And the question is asked here: should I delete my music off DistroKid and do the 2 loss? Okay, so essentially he's asking, should I delete my music from one music distributor and then upload to a better music distributor? All right, so when it comes to transferring your music from one distribution to a company, I strongly advise you guys to not delete it before you get everything situated with the new distribution company, right? The moment you delete your music through any music distributor, they're going to remove it from the streaming service, which means that they will also remove your stream count and any progress that you have already done with that music on those different streaming platforms. All right, that is not the smart thing to do. What you actually in fact want to do is get the music up on the new streaming platform first. Make sure you have the ISRC codes matched up, so that you will be able to keep your stream count and everything like that. And once everything is up and running through the new music distributor, then you could go ahead and delete it off the old distributor. I have a lot of clients who came to me, wanted me to try and to help them fix this issue because they lost all their stream counts and everything, but there's nothing I was able to do because they decided to delete their music with the old distributor before releasing it to the new one. It's going to completely wipe you out, complete clean slate if you decide to do it that way. But if you want to be able to keep everything, keep your history, keep the progress of everything that you've done with your music, you have to do it the right way. And I'm going to show you or get a link to another video I did. And this other video I did is literally about how to make that switch. How to switch distributors, I believe. Distribution, or how to switch distribution. Let me just put that. How to switch distributors without losing play count. In this video, I actually show you step by step of all the things that you want to make sure that you're doing in order for you to not lose your play count. I'll leave this link in the chat as well, so you guys will have that for anybody again who is watching this video. All right, so don't ever delete it from one before you get to the other. Obviously, you don't want to do that anyway because you're not entirely sure if you will entirely like the other one as much, right? Of course, it may look good on paper, but ultimately, until you actually try for yourself and see everything about it, all right, you won't know. So what I would do is my next song, I would release it in the new platform, see how that new platform works. It's a new song. I just released it. If I don't like it, I could always just go back to my old distributor. All right. I won't have that many streams on it because I just released it, right? See how you like it, see how it goes. And if you don't like it, you got the old one. But if you do like it from that point, then you go ahead and start creating the migration. Start transferring from one to the other, right? Again, transferring, not deleting and re-uploading. That's not what you want to do, all right? So hopefully that answered your question, Young D-Fly. Trust me, I've seen a lot of artists very, very upset after they made this mistake. I don't want you to make the mistake as well. Do not delete that bad boy until you start the next one, all right? So great question here. And these have been some great questions over here as well. So let's move on to the next one here. Next one is right here, right? Actually, that's not a question. That's something I wanted to say for something else, but this is the question. All right. So actually, I'm gonna show you the other thing because this is dope. This is dope. I saw this and I wanted to save it. The reason I wanted to save it because again, I'm a Christian hip hop artist, right? And somebody actually put this on the reel. All right. I'm not gonna say the name because obviously there's a curse word in it, but it says, as a non-argumentative atheist, I have a great deal of respect for those of y'all that have faith hard enough that it inspires art like this. Respect. I take this as a major compliment because it's like literally an atheist telling me that my music is dope, even though it's a Christian hip hop music. You get what I'm saying? Like, I still nailed it in a sense to him. You get what I'm saying? I thought this was dope, and this is actually something that I'm going to post later on my IG. I saw it and saved it because I just thought that was just such a great compliment, and I was just so thankful for that compliment. So that's why I had that there. All right, but the next question, moving on to the actual next question, this is the next question here. All right, actually, before I answer this next question, let's see what's going on IG, see if anyone joined in. Oh, yeah, I had a bunch of people that joined in on the IG. All right, a lot of them probably hopped off now. Crybaby Lives. All right, Jordan, Victoria, Prince Therm. Thank you all, guys, for joining in to my IG Live. Just want to let you guys know if you have any music industry questions that you want me to answer live, you can actually ask those questions on YouTube. Head over to my YouTube. For those of you who are watching me on IG, head over to my YouTube. And on my YouTube, I'll be able to answer those questions live for you through the YouTube chats. Just type it into the chats. I'll be able to answer it. And best question that's answered, or best question that is asked will get my free ebook, The 13 Steps to Jumpstart Your Music Business today, all right? So those of you who are on IG, head over to the chat on YouTube, and you'll be able to get that, all right? So, all right, so that's great. Okay, so let's get to this question here. So this question was asked by Junior Dub. All right, Junior Dub. Oh, and in the picture I see the locks. Man, he got some long locks. That's dope. All right, so some say there's a middleman between DistroKid and you. The name in Merlin, who gets a percentage before distro. So I guess he's trying to say, so you don't get an actual 100% royalties. All right. So this is actually true, right? But this is true in context, right? Essentially, DistroKid gives you 100% of your royalties. That is correct. However, the person who gets the percentage isn't Merlin. I have no idea who Merlin is, all right? But what that person is the actual streaming services. And what do I mean by that? Spotify, Apple Music, and all of the different streaming services. When you actually get your streaming royalties, they actually take a percentage out of it. They take a percentage out of it because your music was streamed on their platform. This percentage is absolutely unavoidable. There's nothing you can do about it. They're going to take a percentage of it because it was on their platform. Spotify has a different percentage from Apple Music. It's not much. It's a small amount, but they all take a small percentage out of it because it's actually part of their platform, and it's actually the way music streaming is. It was set up like that from the very, very beginning. So you do get 100%. You get 100% of whatever that's left over from that little percentage that they take. All right. So it's not like there's some middleman that's just, in bed with DistroKid and saying, oh, I'm gonna take a percentage before giving it to DistroKid. No, you're getting 100% of the royalties after it leaves the streaming service, right? So soon as Spotify sends DistroKid the amount, you get 100% of that. But the actual royalty amount that Spotify gets for playing your music, they take a piece out of it. So you're never going to really see that piece, which is why all of these music distributors are saying they're going to give you 100% of your royalties. They're going to give you the 100% of the royalties that is given to them by the streaming service. However, the streaming services does take a small percentage. It's very, very small, but they do take a small percentage. So yes, it is true. You don't ultimately get 100% of the royalties that get paid out to these streaming services, but you do get 100% of it once they take their little part out. All right. So, and of course you can look up the percentages of that stuff. It's public information. It's all part of the streaming bylaws, so to speak, but there's nothing you could do about it. There's no way you could avoid it. The only other thing that you could do is, really just build your own website and sell your own music on your website. That's the only way to avoid those, but that wouldn't count as streaming. That would just count as outright buying the song, which comes with a whole nother thing as well, because streaming, obviously they can stream your music forever. Buying the song, they only got to buy it once, and then they have the song forever, and they can listen to it over and over. That's why streaming or everything was pushed from CDs to streaming, right? You go buy the CD, you have the CD. Once you buy the CD, you're not going to pay for that CD again. You have the CD, you're going to listen to that music over and over and over. You keep that CD in good shape, you have that CD forever, and you never have to buy it again. I still have the Michael Jackson Greatest Hits CD, His Story. I'm never going to buy those songs again because I bought the CD. I have the CD. I could just pop in the CD and listen to all the songs, right? That's why they decided to stop doing CDs, because, of course, you get a lot of upfront money because the CD was $15, right? That's way more than each stream. But with streaming, because it's forever, people got to keep going to Spotify to listen to your music. The artist continues to get paid forever, right? So streaming is better for artists in the long run, even though CDs and 8-tracks and stuff like that before was better for the artists right away, right? So that's what it is when it comes to that. And yeah, royalties come with streaming. Royalties don't come with when they just buy your song. So if you have your song on your website and you just sell the download, you're not going to get any streaming royalties with that. And if they stream it from your site, you're not going to get the streaming royalties from that as well. The streaming royalties you get from approved streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, and things like that. It's just the way that it goes. I don't believe it's always going to be like that, but that's pretty much it when it comes to that. All right, now I have time for one more question here. All right, I'll answer this last question, and then I'll go ahead and reveal the winner to the best question that was asked today. So any more questions, make sure you type them in right now, because we're coming to an end here with this live. All right, so here we go. Last question here. Oh, it's a big one. It's a big one. Can I answer this in 5 minutes? Let's see. Let's go for it. Okay, so this question was asked, hey, bro, do you have a video explaining, or can you make a video explaining for beat makers? Ooh, I like this, because I'm a beat maker too. I'm a producer. How to get Content ID service on their beat, or which is the best one to use. My channel is brand new, and I'm far from being monetized, so I don't meet the requirements for YouTube Content ID, of course. Is there any alternative or what can I do? Please answer if you can. Actually, there's a lot of stuff that was said here, but the answer is actually very, very short. Okay, so essentially what he is asking, he's letting me know that he's a beat maker, and he wants to get YouTube Content ID. Obviously, the reason you want YouTube Content ID is to protect your music from being taken from YouTube, and you don't want people releasing stuff on YouTube with your music and you not getting paid for it. That's what YouTube Content ID does. It protects people from using your music on YouTube. It's like a copyright specifically for YouTube. Not everything else, just YouTube specifically, right? So in order to do that as a producer, all you really have to do is get your music through a beat service website. All right, now to give you a couple of examples of this, I'm just going to quickly Google the biggest one. All right, and the biggest one is BeatStars. All right, beatstars.com. Right, so as a beat maker, this is probably the #1 place for beat makers in the entire world. All right, so with beatstars.com, you could actually get your music or your beats uploaded, or you could get it linked to your YouTube channel, and they will actually give you the YouTube Content ID per beat to actually protect your music. This comes standards with a creator account on BeatStars. All right. I believe I made a video on this. Let me just double check. I'm not sure if I did. If I did, I'll leave the link. If I didn't, then I'll go into this in more detail, but I believe I did. Yeah, I did. BeatStars, Beat ID versus YouTube Content ID. I did make a video. Sometimes I forget if I even made videos or not, and if I didn't, I'll just make a video of it. But yes, I have a video of it right here. All right. I'm going to share this link here for those of you who want to know how to actually get signed up with BeatStars so that you could have that YouTube Content ID with your beats. And again, BeatStars is great because it links directly to your YouTube, so you'll be able to access that in a great way. So that was a good question there for all of my beat makers and producers out there. All right, so before I let this live come to an end here, again, I want to let you guys know about my membership. All right, with my membership, you get a lot of amazing perks. So if you want to have access to those perks, you definitely want to click on the join button here, and with that join button, you'll be able to access those perks. All right, let me know what you guys think about these Tuesday Q&As. All right, put them in the comment sections of this video once it's done. All right, thank you guys for obviously joining in, asking the questions. Now I'm going to reveal the winner for today. I had some pretty good questions from both UAB as well as LD40. All right, the other questions that I answered, they can't participate because it's anyone who's in the actual live. And again, the winner gets the actual ebook here. All right, this is the physical copy of the ebook. If you want the physical copy, it's at an additional cost, but the ebook will be emailed to you, and the winner of that ebook is going to have to be UAB. All right, and that's because UAB had the best questions in my opinion today. All right. Thank everybody else for joining in. Uwab, if you're still with me, please type yes, I'm here in the chat, because if you're not still with me, you won't have access to that free ebook. Again, that ebook retail value is at $45. It was on sale when it first came out, but now it's at regular cost of $45. All right. If you want that ebook, Ewab, you want to make sure you say something in the chat before I close the chat, because once this is done, I can't email that to you. I need to make sure that you respond to that so I could tell you what's your next step to do so that you're able to do that. Pretty Girl Progressions, thank you so much. Thank you so much for staying locked in. Thank you everybody who joined in, who's been joining in and who've been listening, who've been watching. I appreciate y'all so much for being a part of this. Thank you everyone on IG. Oh, Black Boy, what's going on, Julio? Thank you for joining in on IG Live. You just missed it. I'm actually on YouTube Live right now answering music industry questions. Brother, I'm on here every Tuesday from noon to 1 p.m. So if you want to have any music industry questions answered, always tap in with me on Tuesdays at noon on my YouTube Live to get your questions answered live here. Let your brother Grady know as well. I told him before, all right, but he hasn't joined in yet, and he be calling me for questions. He can still do that, but let Grady know to hop into this live on Tuesdays at noon, all right, if he's not working and stuff like that, because I'm answering all questions live. It's all good, brother. You know now, all right? Appreciate it. LD40, big shout out to LD40 for shooting me $2. I appreciate you so much. That was super, super nice of you, brother. I appreciate you so much. Please let me know how the ebook has been working out for you, because I believe you won the ebook last week. I hope it's been working out for you. If you have any additional things about it, if you feel like there's some things I may have to update or whatever, let me know, man, because like I said, I'm here to help you guys out as much as I can. And I truly, truly appreciate you sending me some love. I appreciate that so much. Again, I'm here to help you guys out. So till next time, for real, I'll see you soon. For sure, for sure. And yeah, Julio, man, let Grady know, because Grady, I know he always got some questions. He could always obviously still call me, but I'm on here live too, and I want his questions to be answered here on the live, Julio, because the questions he asked me, other people may want to ask as well. You get what I'm saying? So I want to be able to answer it live, give the question live to help him out, all right? But I appreciate you for joining in on the IG, on my YouTube, here live at noon to 1 every Tuesday. Pretty Girl Progression said, oh, that's dope. We can give love donations. So cool. Yes, you can actually give love donations. Let me see here how it's actually done. I don't know if I could even do it from my own page, since it is my page, but let me see. I believe I have it muted, so hopefully it doesn't do no craziness, but okay, let me see. I've never tried this before, so this is either going to work really well or really badly. Okay, but it's muted either way. So I'm about to watch myself. All right, so here it goes right here. Let's see. This is how it looks, obviously. And obviously it's a little delayed, but here we go. You see perks. I don't know. There might be a give button somewhere. It's not going to show up for me. I just remembered it's not going to show up for me because I'm obviously on my own page right now. But yeah, there's probably some type of give button or something like that on here. But yes, if you're willing to invest in the channel and everything like that, I'll appreciate it any way I can. Again, LD40, I appreciate you so much for the love offering. I appreciate that so much here. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you all for, of course, tuning in. Again, I have my membership. If you want to join in, it's always available to you guys. And, just write down some questions for next week for anybody who decides to watch this after the live. All right. I've noticed that some of you guys are asking questions in the comments of the live. I don't check the live comments at all because I'm too busy checking the comments of the tech tips. So if you have any questions on the comments of the live, just save that question until you can actually jump on the live and actually ask it then, because I'm not seeing those right away. It's taking me weeks to see those because, again, those are comments on the live. They're not on my regular videos, all right? And if you have YouTube Studios, you know how much of a hectic it is to even find comments sometimes, all right? So for those of you who are, again, asking questions or putting comments on these live videos and asking questions there, save it. put in a tech tip video instead, or save it until you could jump on the live with me personally. All right. But thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for being part of the my Tuesday Q&As, and I'll see you guys next week. Peace.